Happy New Year everyone, PB Kotaku here. It's not too late to give that greeting, right? Let me check the calendar. January 8th. Yeah, it's fine. So 2024 is gone and it's been quite a year for anime figures at discount stores. I saw figures from properties I have not seen at discount stores before like Shaman King and Hell's Paradise. Prize figures from other companies like Furyu and Sega appeared. Higher and more expensive prize figures started showing up like Ichibansho and Diarrhea-matic. I even found a Pop-Up Parade figure at Ross. When Pop-Up Parade and higher end prize figures started showing up at discount stores, I really started to think that scale figures at discount stores would become a reality. And you know what? It did. Around the first week of December, Ross Dress for Less started selling this Kotobukiya Artifacts J17 scale figure of Jujutsu Kaisen's Nobata Kugisaki. One of my viewers gave me the heads up on this figure showing up at Ross. I didn't actually try searching for Nobata, I just happened to find her, and that was the last one at the store I went to. Finding a scale figure at Ross was not actually the biggest shock for me. Okay, I actually found a scale figure at Burlington first. This S-Fire 1/8 scale figure of Izuku Midoriya by Sega. It was priced at $50 while it's currently listed around $100 online. For the Artifacts J Nobata, the biggest surprise to me was actually the price. Ross sold this for only $15. That's cheaper than the really tall Naruto prize figures which were priced at $25 and the Demon Slayer Ichibansho figures which were in the $25 to $35 range. Heck, this Nobata was the same price as the much smaller Pop-Up Parade Yuji Itadori I found a week or two before, and even more than that, this scale figure was cheaper than almost every prize figure at Ross since they bumped up the prices on those to $17, the exception being some My Hero Academia figures priced at $10. The funniest thing to me was finding a prize figure Nobata in the same Ross for the same price. Why would I get the prize figure for $15 when I can buy a superior product for the same price? Get that out of here. I actually put the figure back where I got it from. It's not cool to make more mess when the store's already chaotic. Now that the backstory's been explained, let's open up Nobata and see if she's worth $15. Opening the box up is nothing special, just do what you need to do and get it done. There's only 3 parts here, the base, the main figure, and Nobata's hammer. Pretty basic. Assembly is pretty straightforward. Nobata's hammer is one piece and you simply slide it into her right hand, then you just gotta fit her onto the base. This might have been an issue with my figure, but the pegs were slightly misaligned with the holes in her feet. I had to bend her legs slightly. It took a minute, but I secured Nobata to the base. With assembly complete, why don't we take a look at what Nobata has to offer. We'll start with the close-up of Nobata's face. She's got a no-nonsense fierce look, and the eye decals look great. There's not much to complain about here. But that means there's still something. On my figure, there is a purple stain at the bottom of her lip. I think if you look really close, you could see the dark spot. I managed to remove most of it with the dust cleaning brush I have, so that's a save. Nobata wears a modified crop topish Gakudan, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Gakudan are typically boys' uniforms. Anyways, the jacket is painted well, and you can make out navy blue highlights among her otherwise black uniform, which matches the anime. The buttons on her Gakudan also have a specific design. In real life, they're typically associated with the school the student attends. I can't quite make it out, so I assume the emblems are tied to wherever she studies. It's hard to fit a lot of detail onto something so small, but I appreciate the effort. Nobata wears a fairly modest skirt that's almost knee-length with some equally conservative tights. If you're looking for fan service, this ain't it. You'll have to look for that on Twitter, Pixiv, or some odd AI-generated stuff on TalkTick. Here's Nobata's trademark cursed hammer. The first time I ever saw this character was in anime figure form, and even then I only saw the packaging, so I had no idea there was a heart on the hammer. It's a cute little detail. And then we have the... Hold on, let me pull up the JJK wiki page so I could pretend I know what I'm talking about. The nails that she imbues cursed energy with to fight. When I was a kid, I used to hold nails between my fingers with the sharp ends pointed out so I could pretend I was Wolverine.
Let's go, bub.
And I assume that fanny pack-like thing is where she keeps her nail ammo. You think it would have been easier if she used a nail gun to fire her projectiles instead of using that hammer? On to some of the downsides. The first one I noticed was one of the pegs on the base is kinda crooked. Because of that, I had to somewhat bend Nobata's legs to get them to fit on the pegs. It wasn't too much, and I don't think there's enough stress to damage her legs. Still a pain though. And speaking of the base, I think the misalignment is causing Nobata to not quite be flush on it. From this angle, it looks like she's kind of floating on the base. Unfortunately, this is something you'd really have to go out of your way to see. This shouldn't be noticeable when placed at or below eye level. The hair. While not the worst, it leaves a bit to be desired. While the seam line isn't that noticeable from the top, it really sticks out from both left and right sides. The hair pieces separate more as you go down the head. To me, it looks like the parts didn't fit properly, and whoever put this figure together just said, "That will do," and called it a day. It's rather poor quality control. Now this shot, look at that gap. It's pretty bad. It's like Springfield Gorge. Now just don't get the urge to jump it. The last one is just a nitpick. Nobara is kinda on the smaller side at around 7¼ inches tall. Compared to those two figures in the back, a 1/8 scale Mila Maxwell figure by Alter and a 1/7 scale Mage figure by Max Factory, Nobara is the shortest. I understand that her pose contributes to the shorter height, but even if this figure had a more upright pose, it looks like she'd still be around the same height as a smaller scale Mila Maxwell, and even at a similar elevated height, wouldn't come close to the Mage. That's all I have for downsides. It's not like the higher quality figures of Good Smile, Alter, or Apex Toys. It's more middle tier, which is where Kotobukiya typically falls. Even with the flaws, Nobara is still painted well as there are no flat colors. That's really apparent on her tights. You would think it would be one solid color, but no. It's a well blended black and brown gradient. Remember how I said this figure was 15 bucks at Ross? Well, Nobara's original MSRP was $120. I would not be satisfied with this figure if I paid that price. For anything over $100, I better be getting something without glaring flaws. At the very least, I expect to not see huge seam lines. However, I didn't pay $120. I paid 15 bucks, less than 1/10 MSRP. So what do I think of that price for a mid-tier decent quality scale figure? Especially when Ross is charging more for lower quality price figures? Big win. We've covered Hammer Girl, but before you go away, I'd like to show you something that I thought was interesting. Before this figure appeared at Ross, Nobara would typically go for around 60 to 70 bucks with shipping at places like eBay. After that, however, eBay was flooded with Hammer Girls. And it's quite obvious most of these are from Ross. With so many people trying to flip these on eBay, the asking price dropped to the $45 shipped range. For the most part, they're not selling. From the start of December to now, only 2 Nobara figures sold on eBay. Even if you sell one for 45 bucks shipped, after fees, shipping expenses, and cost of goods sold, you're looking at like $13 profit at best. The ROI just isn't worth the effort nor risk, in my opinion. For my final thoughts, now that scale figures have shown up at discount stores, do I think they'll appear again? Well, it's happened before, and it will happen again. I think more Kotobukiya scale figures will show up at discount stores, and these are my predictions. First, the new 52 Harley Quinn Bishoujo. This released years ago, and there are still so many around. Even when she gets a price cut, they don't sell. Looking at sold listings on eBay, she goes for like 50 bucks. Next is a 2014 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Lady Deadpool Bishoujo. This was such a poorly received convention exclusive, and it did not sell well compared to other convention exclusives like Street Fighter Sakura or Red She-Hulk Bishoujo. Like Harley Quinn, she doesn't even move when Kotobukiya does a price cut. My last pick is the Plastic Angels Down the Chimney Bishoujo figure. This thing is quite small and super overpriced for what you get. 160 bucks. At that price, Kotobukiya still has stock, and I doubt they will ever move. I could see this hitting Ross for like 40 bucks at the very least. These are my predictions, and I think it's really fun to speculate. If you think scale figures are going to show up at discount stores again, let me know what your predictions are. I'll call it here. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and sub. Patreon's down low. If you want to see some more of my recent hauls, check out my discount store anime haul and my Christmas gift haul videos at the end screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.